Digital music, digital video, digital photos, digital services running on networks that have a fixed price, a fixed cost. Once you've actually paid to deploy Wi-Fi and LTE networks, and once you've built the routers, and once you've built the electrical power plants, and once you've run all the fiber optic cable, that's all the fixed cost.
Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to talk about Tesla. We're going to do a quick Tesla update, but with this one, it's with a quick twist. Okay. I am going to bring to you a quick interview of Michael Saylor on a YouTube channel called Preston Peach. The guy is a great guy. He brings interviews of billionaires, how people think, people that have made a lot of money, how they think and stuff like that. So he brings them and talk, and they chat about things. And Michael Saylor mentioned some things about how Apple and Google have been able to eat up a lot of industries. And as a result of that, they've been able to gain so much market. And they dominate everything now. So that is the same thing that I think Tesla is going to happen with the transportation industry. Tesla is going to be a huge giant of the transport industry. Think about mechanic, think about AutoZone, think about oil changes, think about gaskets, think about labor for fixing your vehicle. Think about gas, think about transport. The transportation industry is going to be dominated by this one company. Obviously, it's not going to be only them that would have the huge market share, but a huge part of the industry is going to be dominated by them. So I just always like to bring some of these gems when I find them online, bring it to you guys, and from another person's perspective, from a billionaire's perspective, from a professional's perspective. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it without taking too long. Here is a quick reaction to this snippet of Preston Peach interview with Michael Saylor. He's a CEO that manages money for MicroStrategy. Basically, he's a money manager. And, I was listening to this and, I heard some few part of this video that I thought, damn, I have to bring it to you guys. So give this video some love. Go to their YouTube channel and subscribe. I think you would love the channel. So he's one of the channels that I'm subscribed to. And I obviously have the bell icon. You see it right there. I have the bell icon, like double tap, subscribe and notification on. It brings a lot of really, really smart people on. And this is great. So what we're going to do is we are going to hear what he has to say when it comes to the pace of technology, how technology can move rapidly and take over an industry without you even thinking about it. So we're going to get into the interview and check out what he has to say.
Digital music, digital video, digital photos, digital services running on networks that have a fixed price, a fixed cost. Once you've actually paid to deploy Wi-Fi and LTE networks, and once you've built the routers, and once you've built the electrical power plants, and once you've run all the fiber optic cable, that's all the fixed cost. The variable cost of deploying a Netflix movie to 1 million people is the cost of electricity. And deploying the Netflix movie to 1 billion people is the variable amount of electricity.
So trying to listen closely, the full interview will be in the description, by the way, but trying to listen closely to some of the things that he's talking about. And the way that when I listen to these things, I always try to infer and like bring it down to what a company like Tesla is doing right now. Think about all the infrastructure that they have in place, building the AI services that I'm going to show you some of the things that they're getting into with that. Building the AI services, building robotaxi, building electric vehicles. Think about all the infrastructure that they're putting in place for the future of EV and just self-driving. So let's get back into it.
Right. So in essence, that's got to be like 0.1% variable cost. There is no variable cost. There's no energy content in the product. That is say, the perversity, right, is that it's all energy. It's 0.1% of the value of the product is energy. I'm just shipping electrons, and energy is fairly cheap. So with things like that, they're deflationary because the fixed cost is a sunk cost, which is amortized across all of the products.
Think about what he just said. The fixed cost is a cost that you take out. That's what amortized means. Like you take it out over across all the products over time. Like for example, the factory that Tesla have in Berlin, it's a brand new factory. You know what I mean? Like at first, it's gonna hit their books pretty hard because it's counting as expense. But they just didn't spend the money, and the factory is just sitting there and not doing anything. The factory is actually producing things. It's gonna be producing over 500,000 cars per year. Now, each of these cars, right? Their own entity. You know what I mean? Like eventually they're gonna have some people will decide they want the car to drive them around, so they're gonna have to pay for the software. Now, it costs Tesla basically nothing, apart from all the things that the work that they've been putting into it right now. Over time, it's gonna cost them nothing because they've already paid for the service. They just have to tweak it, make it better, improve it over time, right? So that reduced their expenses. It reduced the cost of making that product. So like self-driving, for example, I think it's $15,000 now, but like I don't think it's costing Tesla $15,000 to make self-driving software available. I mean, it's just one time that they have to make the product, the product, and boom, is available for people to use. They can improve it over time, but it's available for people to use.
You've got one iPhone, you've got one television, you've got one fiber optic cable to your house. And therefore, everything I can push to the iPhone and everything I can push down the fiber optic cable, I can deliver at the variable cost of electricity, which starts to look like a product with a 99.9% gross margin.
Think about what Tesla 2 can do. Tesla can basically do a software update that will keep your car up to date, boom, just like that, real quick. And it's something that they've been doing and they keep on doing.
Okay, so what's interesting? Well, in the history of the world, if you roll the clock back 50 years, we didn't have any products with a 99.9% gross margin. 99% gross margin products are a product of modern digital networks.
Look at all these products right here from Apple. iCloud. A lot of us, we pay for iCloud because, we have a bunch of photos and videos on our phones that we don't want to delete. But it gets stored on iCloud. Look at look at Apple Watch. Right there, you buy the device, is hooked to the app. It don't cost them much to make the app, but over time they can sell you services using the watch, like Apple Fitness and all these things that comes with a watch. Same thing with the news, same thing with the TV, same thing with the music. Like for example, Apple don't make the musics that they put on there. It don't cost them anything. They just made the software, Apple Music. They make it into an app. People upload their music and Apple take a cut. So this is a way that they can make money, and Tesla is rolling out things like this for themselves as well.
So Apple created a mobile network. They dematerialized everything you could hold in your hand. And that means that your VCR and your CDs and your cameras and your Polaroid photos, right? And your phones and your tape recorders, and your weather.
You guys see all that things? Those things, boom, 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 they gone. You get what I'm saying? Like they exist for people that want to have them, but all these things now are being put together into just one device. That looks just like this. Now, all those things that you've looked at, you can check it out with this, just this device right here. Just this one device. So by Apple doing that, it creates trillions of dollars worth of value for the investors, for the company, because the stock price for the company is like the company's bank account. That is the same thing that I feel like Tesla is going to do for vehicles, for cars. Okay, when cars start driving itself, this is gonna be profound. This is gonna be such a huge change to humanity as a whole. It's gonna be mad, because now if you don't have to drive your car, and that is completely out of the way, then what do? You know, a lot of people would probably do their work on their computer. They probably do their work while they're driving to work. People would be more productive, which in turn, all these activities, they're deflationary, because now you don't have to do those things anymore. The machine just do it for you. That means you have more time. You can do other things that can either bring you joy, happiness, or more money. You know, this interview, it has a lot of great information in it. And this segment, I thought this segment applies to Tesla. So I want to bring it out and, you know, just add those points here to you guys, my audience. Let's get back to it.
Whether your atlas and your maps and little books and reminders and yellow Post-it notes, all these things had energy content in them, and they had a variable cost. I mean,
so what he means by variable cost, and the way that I'm interpreting it, like, these are the costs that it costs to make the product. Now, once those things don't exist anymore, that you don't have to, you know, you don't have to pay for it. Like all the things that we just saw, like the weather. Now we have weather app. Boom, boom, boom. We know what the weather is doing. They had to have this huge machine, but now they don't do that anymore. All the phones, cameras, you know, all Polaroids. I said all those things. It's now available in this one device. You know what I mean? So this one device is more valuable, more than all of those things right now. But guess what? If you were to buy all those things individually, they will cost a lot more money than just buying this one iPhone, you know? So these are the points that he's making there that I really, really enjoy. And I feel like that is the same thing with Tesla, with what they're doing.
I mean, traditionally, variable costs run anywhere from 40 to 60% of the value of the product. You know, you have to produce it for 60% of the retail value, and you sell it down a retail distribution channel. And eventually the true margin is like 7%, or, you know, Walmart, 3%, whatever it is. And the other 97% gets eaten up. That's what the world looked like. And then what happened with the mobile wave, or the last decade, is Apple dematerialized.
When you say dematerialize, just think about it as eat up the market, eat up the market, eat up the market.
All of the mobile products, or all the handheld products, and converted them from 40 to 60% variable cost to 1% variable cost. And Apple then accrued $1 trillion of value
because guess what Apple did? They were able to eat up all these other businesses, right? Think about, for example, when truck drivers, when Uber drivers, when Lyft drivers, when people driving in general don't have to do any of these things anymore. Think about a typical truck driver. They probably make like 70 or 80, maybe $90,000 a year. Now, once that goes away, where did that money go? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, where did that money go? Now you don't have to pay the truck driver that much money. Now you don't have to pay the Uber driver that much money anymore. Where did the money go? The money is going to go to Tesla. The money is going to go to the company that buys a Tesla semi-truck. The money is going to go to those people, you know. That is the same thing that happened when Apple ate up all, like, killed all these other businesses. Like the company that made, you know, cameras, you know, a lot of them are gone. Nokia is gone. Ericsson is gone. A lot of these companies, basically, Apple just eat their lunch, basically. That is what he's trying to say here.
Because it was that network. It's crystallization of sorts. you're collapsing from a high energy state to a lower energy state. And when you crystallize, what energy gets given off, right? And that energy took the form of wealth created for the Apple shareholders.
There you go. What it means by energy when it's doing this interview, Michael Saylor is saying value. Those companies, they're basically gone. Companies that make those products, they're done. They don't exist anymore. Now the value of those companies now went straight to Apple, and that's why Apple has been able to be multiple trillions of dollars worth of net worth as a company.
Google did the same thing.
Listen closely to what he's saying with Google. Listen closely. I'm not going to interrupt with this one as much, but listen closely.
They pretty much dematerialized every library and every piece of every book and every piece of information and every video and every home video and every VHS and all the music on the earth. And it collapsed into Google and YouTube and the like. And as it collapsed, right, this is a real library behind me. Okay, I'm sitting in a library of books, and I don't know, it's $100,000 worth of books in this room. Worthless, because you go get yourself a $500 iPad, and you can have the entire 100,000 books. And by the way, the 100,000 books on the iPad is more valuable because they'll read themselves to you, and you can resize the font. I'll walk past like this perfect book, and it's a beautiful book, and I open it up, and it's classic, and it's like in a really small font, and I'm like, can't I pinch and zoom the book? And then I go on a trip, and I'm like, I really want to take that book or those 10 books. They're really heavy. I leave, the books have mass, the books are static, the books have to be shelved. Someone can take the book, I might lose the book.
You guys trying to get the things that he's trying to say? He's trying to say that the digital books that you can have on an iPad is more valuable than the books, the $100,000 worth of books that he has in his bookshelf at home.
Google took every library on earth, collapsed it, just like Apple's got their iBooks, right? They collapse these things. The variable cost goes to zero.
That is the same thing that I feel like Tesla is doing with transportation.
So you have all these things that Google touched that became deflationary. Everything that Facebook touched became deflationary. Everything that Amazon touched. The part that Amazon eliminated, by the way, was like the 40% of the retail supply chain that was a storefront. Well, 40% of everything anybody wanted to buy collapsed into a mobile app on an iPhone or collapsed into a website. 40% of the cost of the energy cost and
that is the same thing that I feel like Tesla is doing with transportation. Basically, there's a lot of things that happens in the process of making sure your car works. Mechanics, parts, labor, gas, all these things. Think about everything that you have to do or pay for in order for you to operate your car, in order for you to operate your truck. Think about all these markets. Think about all the supply chains. Think about everything that has to happen in between. That is what Tesla is going to, like Michael Saylor said, collapse, eat up all those industries, right? So when I'm looking at Tesla, this is when I say a generational company, a once in a while company, I really do mean it, because examples like this is what I like to bring to you guys, to share with you that investing in this company, that for me, my take, this is still the best investment opportunities that we have in the stock market right now, because the transportation industry is so big. It's not just making the car. Tesla is making the cars. They're building the gas station. They're building the network of the mechanics. They're building the car parts. They're building so many things. They're gonna eat up so much of transportation, and that is just one segment of their business. That is just one segment. Let me go to another segment of the business. Let me show you what I'm talking about right now. So here is some of this. Here is a more detailed article here on Tesla's website talking about every single thing that Tesla is doing. And when it comes to the artificial intelligence, this is just one part of their business. Artificial intelligence, and obviously the artificial intelligence also lead to a part of their robotaxi, which is the self-driving, right? So they have the FSD chip, so making the chip. They have the Dojo chip, so putting all the chips together. They have the Dojo system, so the architecture of the chip. They have the neural network, how the chips and the information that they get from the cars, how we process and everything like that. They have that. They have their autonomy algorithms. They have the code foundations, evaluation, infrastructure, and then they also have the Tesla bot. I will leave the link to all this below so you can, check it out in more details. But here's another example of things that they are doing. And these are like cutting edge technology here, folks. Cutting edge information, cutting edge things that one company is doing. Now, this is just the artificial intelligence side of things. And the artificial intelligence side, it can apply to so many different things, And this is how they are using it or planning on using it for the autopilot. So with that being said, let's get into the portfolio. Let's see how the portfolio has been performing. This is just a quick update on the portfolio. Whenever I do all these videos, I always like to do a quick update. So not just only I'm showing you guys the things that the company is doing, both things that you can easily see and things that you cannot see. Because the reaction, the Michael Saylor reaction video is like, you can't really see it, You can't really see it because by the time you notice it, it's already too late because a lot of the things has already happened already, So I thought this article, it's online, it's on Tesla's website, this article right here. So I thought, let me share this with you. So this is more information for those of you that want to get more details on exactly what they're doing. You can check it out and read up on it, see what they're doing, So let's get into the portfolio now. Let's check out what the portfolio is doing. Be right with you. So let's do a quick update on my Tesla stock portfolio. Basically, the gist of what I'm doing with this portfolio is I dollar cost average into the stock. I do that because I believe that's one of the safest way to enter a stock. Unless you've been investing in Tesla since like 8 years ago, the best thing to do is to dollar cost average into it. So that's my conclusion. But before we get into the numbers, quick disclaimer, not a financial advice. Not telling you to invest into Tesla stock, not telling you to do what I'm doing. I'm just showing you what I'm doing as an example, as something that just as an example, so you can visually see. I show, I educate, I don't tell you to do things. Okay, so take it as you may. That is the disclaimer. Read the description below. Let's get into it. Let's check out the portfolio. Here is my current Tesla stock holdings. We have a total of 25,000 worth of cash money in the stock as of today. Now I have 24 shares, almost soon to be 25 real soon. My average price has been $589. Can't wait for them to split the stock to average my price down a little bit more. But, I'm getting it for half the price right now. So Tesla is a $942 billion company. They came down just below $1 trillion not too long ago. But $1 trillion, we've hit that before. We're going to 2 trillion at some point. It's just my opinion, no financial advice. So let's break this down. Let's take a look at the performance in the past, this recent performance. So we have 1,700 today. It's up by 1,700. Tesla had a pretty good day today, actually. And for the week, it's up 800. And for the month, it's down 3,400. You can take a quick look back at my previous video. I'll leave it in the cards. So you see what this portfolio was down by before. You can check that out. So we down 3,400 in this video. And for the quarter, and that's the one that we're down 3,400, almost 500, it's within 1 month. And for the past 3 months, my portfolio is up 5,000 for Tesla stock. And for the past 1 year, it's up 7,000, 60% for me for Tesla stock, which is great. And all time, it's up 42%. This is Bitcoin type of growth for this stock, like mad. So yeah, the stock is looking good. Everything is looking good. Let's take a quick look at the transaction like I always do. Full transparency as always. So really quickly, here are the transactions for my Tesla stock. You guys can check out the date so far, December 23rd. I basically do the same thing, dollar cost average about $30. And again, the days where the stock, maybe I didn't buy it the day before or the stock drops too much, then I go in and buy a little bit more. But I still buy that base of, $30 every day into the stock. And that is what gives me the results that we have today. Like you guys can see here, $30 on a regular basis. And when it drops a lot and I have the extra money, I grab a little bit more. This is Tesla's price action right here. This Tesla's price action. And basically this is in a day period. Each of these candles is in 1 day. And, the stock is holding strong pretty much around that, 900, 950 level. So just under $1,000. And, with the RSI here, it's looking like a buy territory. So, unlike this area where the stock basically overextended itself like big time. But right now we are looking at a buyer's territory. And hopefully with everything that's happening with the Omicron situation, hopefully that gets better. If that gets better, Tesla stock is gonna run. Because if you take a look at 1 year, so if you take a quick look here at Tesla stock for the 1 year period, I mean, it's gone up quite a lot. It's gone up 50%. But at some point it was high that it's gone up almost 90%. So it dropped a little bit, and we're looking up 50% this year. But I think Tesla as a company has accomplished a lot more than the stock price at this point. Because if we take a look at where the stock price is right now, $1,000, it was just teetering around that area not too long, like a year ago. In January, it was like 800. In January, the stock was at 800, 750, 790, 800. And recently with the drop, it basically dropped down to that same price that it was at a year ago. What does that mean? That means investors are valuing Tesla right now as what it was a year ago, right? That creates a buying opportunity. That's why I put in that $1,200, because the price dropping to where it was at a year ago. That's a price discrepancy. For long-term investors, you want to take advantage of those things, because if a company that is growing so fast like Tesla drops down to the price today, like for example, at this point Tesla was at $800, almost $900. At this same point too, in January 26, 2021, Tesla was at that price point. Now, from January to December of 2021, did Tesla stay the same as a company? No. They accomplished a lot. They're going to deliver almost 1 million cars this year alone. So the company has accomplished a lot, but the stock price is not reflecting that. So that's when I like to take advantage of these times and be able to buy a little bit more of the company, for cheap at this prices. You just got to take advantage of these discrepancies when it comes to things. It was up this much and then it came down to, bargain prices at this point. You got to take advantage of it. So yeah, that is pretty much it with this video. I hope you enjoyed this content today. It's a little bit different. I want to bring another professional's point of view, talking about, you know, what other companies have been able to accomplish when it comes to these things that Tesla is trying to do. Apple were able, when Apple came in, they were the underdogs and they end up eating everybody's lunch. Companies that used to make calculator, they ate their lunch. Companies that used to make cameras, they used to make sticky notes, they used to make notepads. I mean, people still use them, but most of the time people take notes on their app on their phone. You know, Apple has been able to take so much market share from like different companies, basically destroying those companies. Same thing too with Google. Google has been able to come in, take a lot of market share from like libraries, you know, so many things that Google has accomplished. YouTube, you can take a look at all Google's products. They've basically attacked so many things. In return, their company has been able to make so much money, and they worth trillions of dollars today. That is the same thing that I feel like Tesla is going for. Tesla is going for the entire transportation industry, you know, and that is just one part of their business. They're also going towards utilities. There's another part of their business, you know. If we're just talking about transportation alone, think about AutoZone, you know, all the different auto parts companies, the big ones, and then you're talking about the little ones, the mom and pop shops. Think about the mechanics. Think about think about the gas stations. Think about just the car alone, Ford, GM. This is the kind of thing that Tesla is doing. It's massive. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a massive industry that Tesla is going after. And this is a lifetime generational investment. And, you know, I will keep on bringing this kind of content to you guys. And hopefully you vibe with it. You give the channel a sub. And yeah, the whole point of the channel is to get to $1 million. And I think this investment alone is going to help make that happen. That's for me personally. You know, I could be wrong. But with all these things that I'm seeing happening, I don't think I will be. But yeah, that is my take today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Until next time, see you later. Love you all. Bye.